Greetings, man. All of the body will be Saeed. Hope all is well. Make sure if y'all like the content, make sure y'all like, share, and follow. All is well and all is appreciated. We pay homage to the Most High ancestors, also the spiritual team, and salute to the chosen. Some of you guys may be new, some may be old. We know we get all different types of people that come. Some people come once a month, some come consistently. Just depends on what people got going on. But we most definitely know that the haters are always watching. Rather, they come to this place where we all are present. Trust me, they're somewhere looking, rather, it's divination, tarot readings, getting tarot readings done, doing tarot readings themselves, uh, mirror magic. What else is spirit showing me that they like to do? Elemental magic. Um, they like to send other people. They like to send different type of demons and different type of gods and goddesses and stuff like that. We'll get into that maybe tonight. It just depends. But what I want to talk about is what people are struggling with, trying to figure out why they having a hard time in their life, or they're trying to figure out if I should go all the way in with the Most High, or should I follow the crowd? Well, it's obvious that the crowd's not winning. You see so many people go through so many different things. I mean, regardless of which side you pick, you will go through something. But you have to ask yourself the important question: which one am I going to go through victorious? And it's obvious. When people who choose the Most High are going to be very victorious. Looking on the outside, looking in, it doesn't look that way because you'll find people in circumstances such as homelessness, financial issues, internal issues with themselves. They may have some type of health issue. Um, they may have a lot of envy, jealous people. They may seem to have a lot of misfortune. You may also have people that is struggling with finding themselves and so forth. So I mean, it's a lot of different reasons. But either way it go, a lot of people would think that, such as myself and other people, which don't have to be chosen, don't have answers or solutions to helping others in their life. But if people take time out to actually listen, they may find something that resonate. Maybe not right then, but maybe later. But either way it go, it's something positive. And I know that it's very important to people to understand that you have to be or observing or experiencing negativity is not healthy in any format. So, at the end of the day, when you look at negativity, it doesn't help anyone. But those people who be doing all this negativity, they pretend very well, which they create illusions to other people to make you feel that they're doing well in life, whether it's materialistic things, cars, females, or males chasing them and stuff like that, or certain type of influence they have on some type of social media platform, but in their personal life, nobody's even paying them any attention. They don't even know how to help anyone because they struggle to help themselves. And not only they struggle to help themselves, they struggle even to pretend that things are working out well for them. Things are not working out well for them because if it was, then they wouldn't be focused on other people. This is one of the ways you can find out when people do not have a life. They're always gossiping and slandering, manipulating, deceiving, and then when somebody exposes them, they turn around and say, "Oh, I didn't do that." And and people, nothing's wrong with people who getting influenced to a degree. I would say that they truly want to believe the person who's telling them all the shenanigans. What's up, everybody? But in all actuality, the lie always exposed. So tonight's topic, we're talking about wickedness that sit in high places and low places. There's not one person on this planet not gonna go through anything. Such as myself, I've been through so many different things that this is how I got in the place that I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And Uh, People may wonder if it's real or it's about content or if it's about making money. This shit ain't about making no money. This is about putting in the work that I'm supposed to put in. This is my purpose. This is why I get on here. This is why I say the things that I say, that God is touching my spirit, my heart, to reach out to people who are struggling or seeking answers for the things that they may be heading forward to that they don't even know. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you got plans to do certain things. You don't know what your outcome going to be. But what it happens is that a lot of people will neglect the opportunity, like, oh, it's not for me. You don't know what's for you. You know what I'm saying? There was a conversation earlier today where the person, for I'm just using a quick example, we was talking about nationality. He said white and black is nationality. I said white and black does not have a nationality. It's a made up concept. It's a misconception. We got a lot of misconceptions that has to be back in alignment with truth because we've been lied to. And so me being a truth teller that I am, based on the facts, I'm going to tell the truth, regardless if I got one person listening or no people listening. Because what people have to truly understand is that I'm doing this for the greater good. I'm not getting paid. I'm not living in this big mansion yet. You know what I'm saying? That qualify me to do all these different things. While you got other people who are at the forefront, they got a lot of followers and this and that and the third. And trust me, they sign a contract. They've taken a bribe. A lot of them do wicked shit behind the scenes to do witchcraft and all that to manipulate energy. We're gonna get into that too, where people don't really know nothing about energy, manipulate other people's minds. Why you think there's a lot of people take psychology? If you go look for yourself, manipulation of energy, just go look it up on Google or something like that and say, can you manipulate other people minds with energy? It's gonna tell you a fact that is true. I'm telling you without me even having to had or looked it up. You know what I'm saying? Then also, can people manipulate people's mind with psychology? Some of you guys already know that. A lot of people do not know that. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. When you was a kid, teenager, adult, you had somebody to convince you that they did not say or they did not do something, and you truly honestly believe them based on that you want to have some type of faith in them. You come to find out they actually lied to you. So it's just the same shit. Why you think I don't deal with listen, I used to go and get readings all the time on this journey, right? I used to go get spiritual work and things done like that, but not really truly understanding the rest of the things that came along with it. And one of the things that I learned about when you, and I'm not saying all practitioners and people who do spiritual work are bad people, but there's a lot of stuff that you really have to truly pay attention to, and you have to use your gifts. Everybody has the intuition, right? They tapping into it, right? They believe in it or not. We can go biblically because people are religious. Word we would use with that would be discernment. Discernment gives you the opportunity to actually dictate if something is actually false or truth, just to make it simple. And with that decision, it allows you to actually make a good decision, regardless of however you use that gift, to be able to help you navigate in life, whether it's relationship, your health, job opportunities, entrepreneur opportunities, hanging out with different people, going to certain places or traveling, whatever. You see people say, I got this gut feeling, or I had this dream, or I had this epiphany. These are these type of gifts and stuff like that. And the reason why society is what I'm going to use, because society is a great version versus breaking it down, saying, oh, the government and all that. Society, it's a lot of people involved, even the people that's around you, even the people in your bloodline, meaning your family, your relatives, they involved with this shit too. And you just need to know the truth, regardless of which way you take. You still have the opportunity to have the truth at hand versus being stuck, or oh, I didn't know, or you end up losing your life, or you end up just keep losing if you in a situation where you're losing and you trying to figure out why am I keep telling L's, or why they keep talking about this God that's supposed to love us and this and that third. Well, you have to understand people don't love people because people don't love self. And meaning you will be able to define those people who don't love themselves based on how they treat not only themselves but how they treat you. And how they treat you will have to be consistent enough so you'll know that it's not fake. You'll know the real versus the fake. and you can't fake real. So that's how you know it's going to be real, to simplify it that way. And so back to society. So what you have with society, society has ruled the world for many years by manipulating so many different traditions and accolades and um, uh, information. We're going to use that word, information, based on the thing to manipulate the masses to follow their way. But you got to remember, even their way, mean that's some person said, well, what you mean their way? If we just use religion, many people practice around the world. They had their own faith, they had their own practice. And so you had, shit's crazy. They call them Caucasians. They travel many places around the world as it continues now. They've given themselves many names and many titles and many positions, and they stole everybody's history and gave people their own history that they wanted to give them by forcing them in slavery and oppression and colonizing things. And think about it, when you was in school, when you look at history, right? The history book, all it talked about was Caucasian people. You had no indigenous, you had no Chinese, you had no Asian, you had no Japanese, you had no AKA black people, and so forth, so on. And I'm just using a very selective few. You had no history about none of that. So what that's saying, you take time to listen to this little part right here. What they're saying is that nobody existed or do exist but Caucasian people. How can you have a history book that only talk about one race versus there's many different type of race? So first and foremost, that's disrespectful to the Most High. Second of all, it's disrespectful to you and your bloodline, and it's disrespectful to all the race. Now, some people may feel that I would pick one side versus the other. There is certain white people that I do like, and there's other certain white people I don't like. There's certain black people I don't like, and there's certain black people I do like. There's certain different nationalities that I like in general with race versus those who I don't like. Anyone who's wicked, to simplify it, I don't fuck with you. I don't give a damn if you family or not. If you're doing wicked shit and that's what your motto is and that's what you truly want to do, I know that you and I are enemies, not because I want you to be an enemy, because the hate and the ugliness in your spirit and also in your heart and your mind and soul, if you got one, is always going to do something destructive to destroy anything good. And so, me actually being someone who's willing to stand up for something good, I am an enemy to you more than you are an enemy to me. And so that's what I mean by that. But into the perspective of society, society has manipulated many different things. Man, sometimes people would think I'm into politics or I'm a debater. I'm not into debating. I'm not a politician. I don't care about politics. Politics is a structure for those who create it to help them be able to keep up or minimize the manipulation that they do on masses of people, and people have free will and they feel that they don't have no one to turn to, there's no answer to or any solutions to these manipulative, easy, simple chess playing, because that's what we're playing chess, we're not playing checkers or none of that. And the reality is, if I'm sitting here able to do these things while everybody else, for those who fit the category, are doing the opposite and they're not actually seeing any results, then myself and whomever else that you will recognize, male or female or any race, who's actually standing up for something. You don't have to have guns and all this other crazy stuff. There's a whole spiritual side to this thing besides the physical. Nothing in the physical happened to the spiritual side actually transition. If you ever heard as above as below, that's not only a biblical, but it's also universal, meaning universal law. And if people start learning the universal laws, that'll help them get in line, not only with their purpose, but have a better life, a better mindset internally. You can actually see that you can actually reverse a lot of things that you think can be not reversed, whether you dealing with some type of sickness, whether you dealing with some type of blockage in your love life, whether you dealing with something mentally, emotionally, a trauma that you actually dealt with when you was a child, or even some of the people that you pick and choose to be your associates or friends, or you consider your friend. Even some people are in marriages that you like, man, I want to get out of this marriage. How can I get out of this marriage? You got to very, it's very important to pay attention to contract. And people think contracts is just signing a piece of paper. No, this shit is spiritual and it's energetically. So with it being spiritual energetically, it is way above this 3D realm that we're actually in. And these are things that our ancestors had at some point in time before they actually got colonized, and all the horrible things, we'll just use it that way, all the horrible things that actually was done to them to actually get to this point where many people are complacent and stuck. And when you have a conversation such as this, it's very deep for most people because it's not a conversation that they hear on a day-to-day basis. It's not a normal conversation that they actually engage with. And if they do engage with it, they fearing about the reactions of other people. No, you need to be yourself. If there's something that you need to say and there's something that's on your mind and your heart, and you actually seeing the reactions of others, that gives you opportunity if they there for you or not. Then not only that, it also gives you the opportunity to build confidence and courage to step out on the faith and also faith as well. So you can move forward in life versus being stuck and stagnant and actually end up getting depressed or think about suicide. See, negativity and this thing they call the devil, which is devil energy, actually manipulate people. And if you can be convinced to never think outside the box and go seek anything else besides what you've been told, then you will always remain stagnant and you will never be a threat because you do have some abilities that you're not fully aware of. But because of those abilities being suppressed by many past lives that you've lived, some of you people may be, this may be your first past life, this living opportunity in this physical vessel that you actually in. But when we leave here, as well as many other people gonna leave here, they're gonna realize like, damn, I've been lied to. Like the whole time, I could have actually made some different things happen, and because those things would never happen, because I actually let somebody tell me something that wasn't true versus me seeking this truth, while they're actually enjoying their life because they know the truth. Let me tell you something. You may not know, but society do rituals, they do ceremonies, they do offerings to their ancestors, they deal with different type of spirits, they also, for whether use them for good or bad. I mean, you have that option. It's the same option. You a spirit in a physical body for those who are, and then you got soulless beings who don't have none of that. And what I'm saying to say is they're eating the good fruits of life. And the good fruits of life is actually being in order, which is universal order, divine order. And long as they in universal order and divine order, they're eating good. But then you have those who are not living good, who seem to be living good, actually know how to manipulate energy. There's a thing called manipulating energy or energy manipulation, or harvesting energy. So, for example, I'm just going with God is showing me to tell y'all. So it may seem like it's scattered all over the place, but there's different things that people need to know, and there's different things that people do not know. Or and there are some that may already know some of the things I'm speaking about. But one of the things that God showed me, like when they show all these different events, whether it's on the news or any type of social media, so when you have people who are angry, sad, bitter, whatever, they take that energy and harvest it, right? You can take the energy and harvest it, and you can transmute that energy and transform it into something that you want to happen in your own. So this is the purpose. A lot of what they call it in the like colleges when they get in them little groups and stuff like that. Um, Things like that. I'm just gonna use that. Things like that. Pretty much people know what I'm saying. Next time I talk about it, if it's meant for me to mention it, I'll make sure I'll be able to find the word. Um, but that you got the cults and stuff like that. These things are not negative. Negativity comes with the actions or the intentions of each individual or a group of individuals who have the intent to create harm. And so everybody been told that witchcraft is bad. And I talk about witchcraft and people see some of the shorts and stuff like that, but I'm talking about, and to those people who be doing this wicked stuff, a lot of these people don't even know me, but they've been assigned to me, and then some have took initiation to say, "Hey, I want to show this guy he not who he think he is, and this and that, and the third." I'm not trying to convince anyone who I am. It's the people who's trying to convince others as well as myself that I'm not me. But in all reality, I'm here, I'm present, so apparently I'm already showing that I am me. I'm not copyright nothing. I'm not knocking people who read off stuff. Sometimes it's good to read off things so you can make sure that you get messages out the way that it's intended to be. But most of my gift is just being able to speak regardless. And this I've been through a lot with this YouTube, rather it's manipulating. Um, and I'm gonna get back to what I'm saying, manipulating the views or manipulating the likes. You might have people who is like you might have people who are commenting, whatever. You may have people who don't know what to say. It's understandable. Or you may seem like, well, damn, he seems like he's pretty cool, or hey, he was kind of seemed like he was pretty frustrated with this one. I'm not frustrated with anything. I just know that when you dealing with these things that they're doing, you can manipulate people's emotions to make them feel or think a certain way. You can manipulate people to do things they normally wouldn't do. So my job is to teach and educate people on the things to look for so therefore they can be aware, because these things can't be taught in the church, only because the church already has a foundation for those who are in religion is going to church, and it's forbidding because they say anyone who has knowledge of these things are wicked, but those people who do not have any knowledge of what I'm speaking of, they are wicked the damn self. So we kind of even if that's the case, if that was truly a fact. But you have to have this proof, and the proof that I'm speaking of, you have to have an opportunity to spend with each individual on the planet, and it would take a lifetime to learn someone, which you still won't be able to learn them because we change consistently on a day-to-day or seconds of the day. And these things that we change about ourselves, sometimes we are not aware of these things, while someone has to identify the change that we've changed in some type of way, whether it's positive or negatively. That confirms that as a fact. So, with that being said, the church don't know a lot of things. There's when I used to go to church, there's a lot of people who scared of witchcraft, but the Bible talks about witchcraft. So how fearful can you be of witchcraft? Then you talk about Jesus, then you talk about God, then you talk about the Holy Spirit, then you talk about how protected you are. If you protected the way that you are actually decreeing, declaring, then or no weapon formed against you shall prosper, then you should fear nothing. Even though in the scripture it tell you that God do not like anyone that fear. I don't have a problem searching it, and I don't have a problem putting it on a post so people can read it for themselves. That God do not honor anyone who fears. He don't need his soldiers who can be a soldier, regardless if he or she think they can, because everyone comes from the Most High. That is impossible. Even the wicked come from the Most High, and all these things are tests. So in this journey, I would say that I've learned, and I wish I would have learned this years ago, that if you don't take anything personal, if you just take time out for yourself and take time out what actually you've experienced and the presence, if it's an individual dealing with a circumstance, will give you the opportunity to allow you to see what you need to learn that's going to actually elevate you. And as you elevate, you're going to transition and transform. And many people are going to think you're going to be the same person they're so used to you being, which is running in circles, which is a hamster on a wheel, or people know you so much by the book. They know what your triggers are, what they're not. They know your likes, your dislikes. They know what type of food you eat. They know what type of male or female you like. They know what type of vacation you like, because you have either discussed it or you've either presented it in some form or fashion. So back into society. Society is thriving because or secret societies are thriving because They know the hidden knowledge which belong to us. I'm gonna use us. You know, when you look at race, it's a whole. There's really no such thing as race, black, white, Hispanic, and all this stuff, because all they want to do is create division. So when you say, "Oh, you're not Spanish," "Oh, you're not Nigerian," "Oh, you're not Haitian," "Oh, I need to look at you different. I need to check you out," or "I need to not mess with you." But then the same nationality that many people claim that they are or is, those same betrayals happen within their bloodline or their community. So it's like double jeopardy. So how do you overcome that? You overcome that by actually simple, allowing people to be themselves and allow you to be genuine in the process of this, and allow them to see the truth versus saying, "Oh, white people, all white people is this," because all white people is not fucked up. I'm just keep it 1,000. I'm just keep it a buck. I may talk shit about them, but them Europeans know I'm talking about them. You know what I'm saying? They know. It's a lot of history out there that has been hidden and confiscated and taken from people like it belonged to them, and all they did is promote it to sell to people. Like, you ever see a museum? People have to pay to go in there. You ever see people go visit the White House? They got to pay to go in there. You know what I'm saying? This shit not free. You ever see everything's for sale? You ever seen body parts of a human being for sale? You see what I'm saying? Words. You know what I'm saying? Clothes. Any type of advertising, any type of marketing. You know what I'm saying? Children. You know, let me use your little baby. You know what I'm saying? To be able to market them, and for a model. I'm just using different things. Animals for sale, for eating and watching. Visiting zoos and stuff like that. So hands down, they have figured out a tremendous, phenomenal way how to make money off a lot of things. But what they're doing is pulling energy. Energy is the true money. It's the true currency. The money that we deal with, the fiat, whether it's American dollar bill or any other foreign bill, that's just the exchange in the physical realm to exchange with one another. You have to look at it way deeper than that. Sometimes when I'm talking to people, they really don't want me to talk because, like, yo, why you gotta be so deep? But this thing go deeper than what I'm saying. It's deeper than I'm just I can't even fathom to tell you where I think or assume that I'm at, but I'm at a place which is a good place versus where I have been in the past. I've been one of those people that was lost in conforming and following the wrong crowd or following my own thing, doing the wrong things and stuff like that, that allowed me to deal with a lot of different severe consequences that I'm grateful to say that I have the opportunity and have shown the opportunity that change is possible when you change your mindset and you cut off people and cut off, internal things about yourself and really look at yourself and take accountability for actions and stuff like that, which allow you to actually be a better person, a better version. Now, all the people that used to get whatever they could get out of you, whether it was sexual relations or money or time, energy, or favor and stuff like that, all that stuff ends. So, yes, of course, your relatives and your exes and your homeboys, your homegirls, or your acquaintance or whatever, your side man, side, female. I'm gonna use the N word. I did earlier, didn't mean to, but it was what it was. And they're going to feel some type of way because there's something that they're not willing to do within themselves to fix themselves. So they need to get it from someone else, like clinging and codependency and stuff like that. That stuff is not healthy. That's enabling you to actually be the better version and also get the blessing that you feel or you think or you say that you want. How bad do you want it? If you're going to take the shortcuts and take the bribes, if you're not going to monitor the people that you're going to engage with these different type of contracts, contracts don't necessarily on a physical paper. It also is a verbal. It's also an action, and then you end up being bonded to it, and you're trying to figure out like it's not working, but I want to get out of it. They demonstrate a lot of movies with this, a lot of shows that people watch and people life, and you watching it yourself physically in life, but not only your life but other people's life. You like, man, what the, you know what I'm saying? How am I gonna get out of this? You know what I'm saying? So it's best to learn now than to be like, man, I ain't got time to hear this. I'm gonna go back to do X, Y, Z. I mean, that's fine, but in our reality, only the strong gonna survive. It's pretty much obvious. Only strong people gonna survive, and people who are weak can become stronger or strong itself if he or she chooses to take the path that they're supposed to be taking. People are not taking the path. That's why when people say, "I got a small circle," your circle not small because you're surrounded by many people. So you engage with multiple people outside your small circle. So how's your circle small? It's an illusion. That is an illusion. So what you mean it's an illusion? You're saying something that's not a factual fact. That means those three or four or five of those 10 people that you hang with, all of y'all will be in the same household, using for example, and y'all all will be actually, doing things together. And anything outside of that, you won't have to deal with it. Whether it's food, shelter, clothing, transportation, medical assistance, blah, blah, blah. But you know, you really have to pay attention to the words that you use. A lot of people cast spells on themselves. So, well, how you cast spells on yourself? You can cast spells on yourself by actually telling yourself something that isn't true, as there's no duality, which is the opposite of that, cannot make that it can make it better. For example, you have men and women who go through trauma relationships with male and female experience, right? But then they say men ain't no good men out here. You got over 2 billion men on the planet. You haven't dated them all. So how is that true? In the meantime, work on yourself. And as you work on yourself and as you raise your vibration, you attract a vibrational man that you desire. And also by you doing the shadow work, which means working on yourself, meaning fixing the flaws and self sabotaging and so forth, so on your health and your money and your mindset, it allows you to match the frequency. This shit. This shit is so easy now, versus going through all this tradition and going through all this. People are, oh, he ain't good for you. Oh no, she ain't good for you. Or you're gonna have people hating on you because they want the person that you want. They really don't want them, and they just want what he or she got. And so, with that being said, those frequencies that you and that person on, they not gonna be able to touch it because they on low vibrational shit. Instead of them focus on themselves and doing the inner work like you doing or did, will allow them to actually find that match, which would stop them from being envious and jealous and a hater or whatever you got going on. That's even with money. That's with anything that you may obtain, that people who be hating, jealous, and envious, and all this other shenanigans and doing all this witchcraft to do shortcuts and all that can maintain or obtain these things that they feel that other people have. What they fail to realize is that the things that they have, I would never obtain because it was destined for them to have. And because it was destined for them to have, it allows me to be grateful and not comparing what I have versus what they have. That knowing that what's for me is for me and what's for them is for them. And that's why I'm grateful about another thing about myself. Never ever have I ever thought about hating on anyone to actually be able to figure out how they don't deserve something. But there's plenty of people who's working on that towards me and many other chosen and other random people in the world that are not aware when they actually loses something, but you truly don't lose anything. You end up giving it back. The universe and the Most High end up giving it back to you because, I mean, by you being in good standings and doing what needs to be done, which is the righteous thing, allows you to have access to anything. So that's the tough cookie that's been hard and been stale for a very long time, that your enemies have to actually sit there and you know scratch their head and do all these deeds all night and drink all that alcohol and all of that, what I'm saying, to figure out how they can defeat one person. So I am who I say I am, and I am to be just that. And you know some people don't like it, I get it, but it's not for them to like. you know it gives them opportunity and many platforms to be observed and cater to. And I wish all well on that journey, whatever they decide to do. I pop my shit when it come down to people doing all this witchcraft and stuff. It's not my main objective when I come on here. It's really irrelevant, but I will allow certain things to actually allow other people to stay aware and to tap in and give themselves the opportunity to see what it is that they need to be able to figure out in the midst of things. I'm grateful to be on screen. I like a lot of people don't know how much courage and confidence it takes to actually get on screen and have a conversation with random people that you do not know, probably never meet. Um, it's not something easy because you got to break away from being shy and projections and what people think and people opinions and their perspectives and stuff like that. And some people just mean and some people just ugly and some people just say things that doesn't make any sense. Some people just say things so they can be the center of attention because they're so used to clowning around all the time and being around those people who entertain it. So they feel like that entertainment need to be demonstrated everywhere they go. But it's a time and a place to play and it's a time and place to be serious. And why a lot of your enemies or people in general are losing because they're not serious enough in their life where things are changing and while things are changing in other people's lives while they're serious and they're mad and they're complaining about, oh, I'm gonna do some witchcraft on them. They're not gonna know that I'm doing it. You're going against the universe. And people don't even understand that. But then there's some that do understand that or do not seek or have seek to understand that they know there's a cause and effect. They know that boomerang effect. They know there's a return to sender. They know there's consequence for doing it. But like, yeah, well, I've been doing it for these many years and I've accomplished this and that and the third. And, you're just going to be the next one. Everybody can't be touched on the planet. That's like boxing, martial arts, football, basketball, tennis, volleyball. Eventually, somebody's not going to be undefeated. Mike Tyson, if you want to use that, Mayweather, you know what I'm saying? Gervonta, I mean Davis, yeah, he undefeated, but he can be beat, you know what I'm saying? And so it's crazy. It's really crazy. Really crazy. Can you tell me a secret? What's your secret? Excuse me, sir. Some of y'all being rude, it's rejecting. No, I ain't been in no prison. So I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, troll. I've been waiting on the trolls to come. That's kind of like why I ain't been showing my face. I've been just putting the screen up. I do the trolls. The trolls love the troll. You know what I'm saying? They like to waste energy and stuff like that. But it's understandable, man. There's a maturity level that people have to get to not do certain things. But I know how to troll too. But I don't troll. I roast people. So I don't. The way that I carry myself. You know, I've said it before. I'll say it this way. Um, in one of my favorite movies, which is for Forrest Gump. Life is lots of box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. And so what that means is you never know what you're gonna get over here. I could turn up, I could turn down, I go left, I can go right, I go around and do all that. It made me think about this person that I was dealing with told me they would run circles around me. And at first I said, nah, you can't run no circles around me. And then they got to talking more, whatever, whatever. And I said, you know what? I can't say what you can and can't do. I can't underestimate you. I believe that. I believe that. I said, yeah, I believe you can run circles around me, which they did. But I did say this. I said, but I will have the last say so. And I have the last say so. So anybody can run circles around me. But what I know for a fact, proven with consistency, I'm going to have the last say so. You will reap what you sow. And that's me doing nothing. Really don't have to do nothing because most of these people, face to face, they're not gonna have that type of energy. Like with me, to be honest, I got this energy present or right here. It doesn't even matter. I'm not one of the people who just talk and not back it up. People scared to die. You already dead if you're not living. You know what I'm saying? Living your fullest, you already dead. That means you're not living to be who you supposed to be. You know how many souls that leave the body on a day-to-day basis wish they could come back and do more? Or could they stay in that same body and say XYZ to XYZ? Or they could do XYZ because they didn't know that they was gonna leave so soon. That's why I make sure that I do what it is that I desire. And it's not about people paying attention. People are gonna watch many different things, and whatever their interest is what that's gonna be. You know, if I so happen to inspire somebody by the presence actually observing me, I'm grateful for that. If I'm inspiring haters to hate more, then I'm grateful for that. It's like, how you be grateful for a hater? Because there's something about me that the haters paying enough attention to me that they don't want to pay no attention to themselves. That's actually inspiring. I could take a negative situation, whatever it is, based on all that I've learned with all this journey that I've been taking in this hermit mode, which means taking time out for myself, I could take any negative things and transmute it into something positive. It doesn't matter what it is, from the cheating ass exes to the funky ass family members that are relatives. You see, I took them from family and I simmered them down to relatives. I still love them, but I ain't fucking with them. The exes, I love them with God's love, but I am not fucking with them. I could say maybe one or two could have whatever. You know what I'm saying? It just depends. It depends on what the Most High want to do because I'm following how He want to do. He already know people coming in with the bullshit, so He's gonna show me people come with the bullshit. So then there's no reason for me to get upset with everybody in the past because we all were in a place that we wasn't aware, we wasn't mature, we wasn't leveled up. I wasn't leveled up the way that I am now when I met those people. So I'm no different than they are, but I have excelled and that's what I've done. The only difference between those individuals. So I'm not knocking them where they at, but I'm not coming back. I'm not simmering down, not leveling down to none of that crazy stuff. Even when I did do it, meaning be around it, I was there too long. And I realized that and I kept telling myself, fighting, flighting, fighting, flighting, fighting, flight. Because I loved a lot of different things about each individual. Despite the fucked up shit about them, I strong minded enough to ignore that and still love unconditionally to people. And those people who do the witchcraft and all that, I got love for them too. I got enough love to warn them and tell them to stop and versus or match their energy. I'm not even having to do anything. They're actually beating themselves up. So, you know, again, I mentioned that that's something they should already know already by now. But apparently, doing all them, you know what I'm saying, all them and smoking whatever the hell they're smoking, and they're doing a lot of stuff they should not be doing because it's making their mind unstable to really see the truth. And then some of them go to the practitioners and tarot readers and they give them this information and pay them this money. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and that. A lot of them people be putting spells on them and they just don't really know it. But that's just what happened. Karma is a motherfucker. Karma is a bitch, and people don't believe in karma. You don't karma. She's not trying to convince anybody. She will show you. You will get what you earn, good or bad. And so it's already obvious when you look at your life or other people's life, it's either good or bad, and then from the top to the bottom, as I mentioned, wickedness in high places as well as low places. Everybody's gonna get their shit right. Even I've gotten my shit right. I don't want my shit right no more, so that's why I do what I do. Now I be made seem like a Jesus to some people or something to be praised. Don't praise me, praise the Most High, and get a relationship with the Most High, so you can get that opportunity as well. So you can see what the hell I'm talking about versus people may just think I'm just yapping and talking and oh, he's trying to get this and that third. Made me think about the guy who said, oh, I see why you on YouTube. You here to try to get recognition. I'm already recognized. When I came through my mother's womb, that was the recognition. Because the thing about him, and I'm not mad at him, you know, he wasn't rude or disrespectful. Even if he was, it was an opportunity for me to reflect and also to say what I'm saying now is that when I came through my mother's womb, people don't understand the struggle that when a child is coming through a woman's womb, what she is going through as far as pain and so forth, so on, what it's fighting against each one of us who actually came through to not come here because it's already destined for people to come here and do certain things and then to get brainwashed when you're in school so your mind can be controlled to follow orders, which a lot of people know and a lot of people don't know. And then you get this teenager, age, and then you become this young adult, then you become this adult, and all of you is being brainwashed and controlled, and they ain't got to do anything because they already set it in stone at your birth what you was gonna do, what you're not gonna do. I could get into the birth certificate and Social Security, that control tactic, that contract. You know what I'm saying? We gotta denounce these things. We gotta cash these things down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start posting, declarations, declares that I'm getting from another person, which I'm not claiming. I'm just spreading the love, spreading the knowledge and wisdom. You can use it if you like to. You can move forward with it. If you're uncomfortable, then don't do it. If you uncomfortable and you say, hey, what else is another option? Then we can figure out what another option for you that'll make you comfortable so you can get in that place that you may be jealous or you may be inspired that I'm in or you see other people in versus just sitting there watching people, do what they're doing, which is serving their purpose and living their life in the midst where you can be doing the same thing. I'm tripping on this motherfucker, man. I tell you. This shit right here remind me This shit right here remind me when I was streaming, man, for like six and a half some years. Like the stuff that people say in the comments is just crazy, just insane. But man, shouts out to y'all, man. You got people say you're gay, and I mean, I can be gay. Gay means happy. That's what gay means, but I'm not gay, but I am happy. So they say gay, that's what that definition mean of gay. So if you're gonna use the word and you're scared to use it, which is start with an F, then you'll be better off saying that word versus you trying to sugarcoat the word. You gotta express it and you gotta mean it. You gotta say it with your chest, not say it with your toenails painted with different colors. You feel me? Especially you certain men. You feel me? You certain men should be holding yourself to a certain level in society, while you got children and elders and you got women and young daughters and young women and little girls and grown women looking at you as a little boy energy that you actually present, and you trying to figure out why a man, myself, or other men is actually getting the attention or the interest of others that you want because your immaturity of saying crazy stuff like that. Like, why would I tell you that I don't have any reason to tell you that. You see what I'm saying? See how different we are? But then you'll come over here or other places and want to be somebody that you can't be. And then you try to convince other people. I'm not frustrated, man. I'm just making a point. You'll try to convince other people that you are him. You're not him. And if you are him, congratulations. But you got to remember, people got their own stuff that they dealing with, so they don't got but so much time and energy to give you. While you gonna dismantle and lose control of yourself? Like, yeah, you know what? I need to make me some lean. You know what? I need to smoke me a blunt. You know what? I need a shot of alcohol, man. I'm stressed out. Why you stressed out, bro? Yeah, man. Shorty ain't hit me up. None of my shorties hit me up. I mean, I ain't that nigga. If Shorty ain't hitting me up, she either busy or she getting busy. Either way it go, I'm gonna stay busy doing what I need to do. If it's meant for her or myself to actually connect, we will. If not, we move on. Like, we different. Remember that. Just use an example, man. And you not necessarily may be the person or people who feel some type of way towards me or other people, but if you offended, then that means the shoe fitted. All you need to do is tell me your shoe size, and we can put that thing together and get you good to go. We could put MJ on the back of that, or whatever basketball player you like. Because a lot of people put the basketball player before they put themselves, and we can make you happy that way instead of take your name and put on the sneaker. How about that? You know what I'm saying? That's how you inspire yourself. You put you first. See, it's a different ball game now. We putting ourselves first. We're not put nobody else before me or others putting other people before them. Not that they're not important. It's just that the things we got going on is important. And as that room actually is available for a person or people, we will share that. And those people who actually cherish and respect that will have an infinite connection. And those who don't, if we would depart, we'll move on. There would be no hard feelings. But those certain selective people will get bitter because you're like, damn, man, I miss this and I miss that. And damn, they goddamn happy and they celebrating and this and that third. And that's just what people choices, free will. That's why you got to make sure you make wise choices out here. Some of y'all don't even have no pictures, man. I don't pay no attention to none of this. Not to disrespect anybody. It's gonna be challenging to be talking about what I'm talking about and then reading the chat. But man, appreciate the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe button. You feel me? And tap in. Appreciate all the craziness. I mean, I'm used to it. It's just it doesn't bother me at all. I think it's entertaining. I mean, you bringing something to the table versus nothing. So we do know people in the world are talking more. COVID didn't stop people from talking. Shouts out to everybody with this fake inflation. They tell you inflation. You can let me explain something to y'all real quick, like about inflation. Excuse me, inflation. You can't have an inflation when you have substance. When I say substance, meaning material, um, such as food and metals and minerals and this and that and the third, water. You can't have inflation because it's abundant. The reason why they say it's inflation because they want to manipulate energy and they also want to manipulate outcome, meaning put people in a negative mindset. Oh man, groceries is too high. What you gotta show these motherfuckers like, okay, groceries high, rent high, whatever, whatever. If you can't afford a rent, find something that you can live, bring your costs down, your living expenses down, and manage your money. You manage your money by just saving and stop spending with these motherfuckers. They gonna make you broke and I have nothing. That's your way of returning the favor without even getting mad with a grin on your face. You feel me? It's like a motherfucker with a grin on your face with a big ass knife behind your back. And they don't realize the knife in the back because now you have changed the whole dynamic. What people fail to realize is that you have the power, but you give it to them. You got a small selected few of people with billions of people got power, and they use it with rage and sadness and depression and you know, suicide and stuff. That's what they taught us to feel. That ain't what we're supposed to feel. That's not what we're gonna feel. We're gonna feel good. We're gonna feel happy. We're gonna fix these traumas, the trauma bonding relationships. We're gonna heal, which is the most important ingredient of it all. And we're gonna stop using excuses. We're gonna take accountability. We're gonna start fucking learning shit. We're gonna start completing shit instead of starting and stopping. We're not gonna do no starting, stopping anything. We're gonna stop getting in relationships with fucking people that you know you shouldn't be in relationships with. You're gonna stop getting in relationships with people for material gains and material things, and start getting in relationship with people with love. You're trying to mix love and the relationship of material gain as it doesn't come together. And then we're gonna stop actually signing these motherfucking going to court and signing a piece of paper, which is contract, which allows the courts to get a lump sum of your money and also separate your family. That makes your children confused why, like, why mommy and daddy not together? Because mommy and daddy wasn't responsible enough to figure out what it was gonna take to actually be together and stay together and what it was going to require with them financially, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and physically to stay fit to have an abundant family. This shit was going on before we even came here. You know what I'm saying? Like in the 60s, for example, in the 70s, I guess this is where things start transitioning and start to get to all this crazy shit. We also gonna hold the record labels accountable because I'm just naming different things. We're gonna hold the record labels accountable based on them manipulating music for people to get out here. Man, I'm seeing so many children going to jail for the rest of their life while they homies, which is their age, and these sorry ass grown ass men who's adult like me influence these kids to be gang banging and doing all this crazy shit. You're gonna pay for that shit. And you're like, who gonna make me? Trust me, it's in the working, buddy. It's in the workings. You got the females doing this crazy shit too. And so you got these kids that's going to jail That can be a possibility of a feminine, it abstract from being the masculine that he's supposed to be and so forth, so on, and the female XYZ as well. So, you know, all the system did is set the bait and people are eating this shit like, yeah, knowing good goddamn well there's a hook on it, but you're gonna go over there and run and eat this motherfucker anyway. You know what I'm saying? I've been safe. I can say that the bait that when I ate it or eating it, I was able not to get hooked on the hook. So this is my giving back to the community how to evolve, how to win, how to people think money and material things make you win. The wrong answer. What makes you win is your mindset. This is what makes you be able to obtain and to obstruct certain things in your life that will show other people you've gotten these things. And your behavior when people are not paying attention is going to actually show a lot because you also have to come back out into light. You know, they had the saying, what's done in the dark comes to light. Yeah, you can start another family for sure. I wonder what somebody said. See what it said. You love finding you a broken chick. It's crazy. Well, brother, you might love finding a broken chick, but let me tell you the consequence. That broken chick may just end up breaking you completely by taking your life. So be careful what you ask for, man. I know you may be playing, I know you may be being silly, but words are powerful. They are manifested, rather you actually playing or not. And that's another thing that we will get into where people really don't know about words. Even if you're joking around, you're still speaking and existing, and it becomes a reality. You know what, man? I wonder what it'd be like to be with a girl that's crazy and she be about to kill me, or I end up in the hospital. You got people who talk crazy like this and they end up being in the hospital or they end up being dead. So be careful what you ask for. I know you trying to, you know, do what you do because you're so used to doing it. You not conscious enough to say, you know what, man, maybe I need to not be saying this because this truly can happen. But yeah, stop doing that if you choose to. Not telling you what to do, just advising you some good advice. Yeah, man. You don't you don't walk around being scared, afraid. You walk around knowing, and knowing just meaning that you are aware what you saying, what you doing, who you're around, what's gonna be, what's not gonna be, and it allows you to be on point versus just like, yeah, man, I got caught slipping. Man, I'll be watching some of the craziest stuff just to tap in and see how the world is just getting worse. You got people who transporting drugs, right? But they're expecting to get a outcome in their favor. There's no outcome in your favor. If you go that route, it's nothing but a dead end. There's only two dead ends to it: death and jail. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much money you made and you want people to look at you this certain way about you got this money, but you didn't make enough money to actually keep you out of prison or keep you from probation or fines or keep you from getting caught and so forth, so on. So, yeah, it's gonna go through one ear and out the other. But either way it go, it needed to be said because it may encourage somebody to say, you know what, I remember this guy. This is gonna be my opportunity to actually change my life and woo the woo woo. What do woo woo mean? Just I'm a take the advice I heard on this particular time, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm gonna change my life to be better. You can get rich without selling drugs, man. Trust me, you can get rich. It's already proven. You got millionaires out here, multimillionaires, billionaires that don't sell drugs, and if they did or do, that's not where they got most of their money from. They got most of their money from people being providing a service or a product. So it can be content, it can be podcasts, it can be, it can be this YouTube, it can be your gifts. You may be good with your hands, you might be able to sing, you may be able to dance, or you may be wanting to learn how to do any of these things. You might want to get in a chess competition. They pay millions of dollars for that. A lot of people on that, and a lot of other different activities. People just don't do any research. People just always going and going and going and going. The mind is always going. It's never taking a break from social media, never taking a break from phones, never taking a break from smoking blunts, never taking a break from the motherfucking bottle, never taking a break from fucking, never taking a break from hanging around people, just not never taking a break to spend some time with yourself. This is why people are missing the mark. This is why they're not getting the opportunity. They just fucking missing it every time. Some motherfuckers work too goddamn much. They got enough money, but like, man, I just gotta go to work, bro. Take a break. Take a break. Go on a vacation. Take a break. You got a couple bands stacked. Go take a break. Stop chasing money. It's not going anywhere. They print the shit every day, 7 days a week. Look it up. Look up mechanics, money mechanics, if you don't believe me. They got many volumes of it. One, two, three, four, five. I think they might got 10 to 15. Look it up. And people be like killing people and hurting people and hating people and getting with people for the wrong reason over money when they print it. It comes from a tree. Like, let's wake up. Let's stop thinking, keep doing the same old cycles and same old shit that you're gonna get different results. You're not getting nothing different until you change. Yes, it's gonna be uncomfortable because you're not familiar with it. You don't know what to do, where to start, and all that shit because we're so used to being egotistic and arrogance that actually sits in like, oh yeah, I know what to do, and yeah, I don't need nobody help. Yeah, you're gonna need plenty help. You're gonna need God for sure. The one that many people don't believe in, or the ones that people manipulate. Oh God, I'm not gonna do it no more. Oh God, I'm so sorry. God, I'm glad that you didn't let them hurt me because they didn't know I did X, Y, Z. Man, the Most High is gonna give you chances because He's merciful. But at the end of the day, when them chances over, it's a wrap. It's a lot of people who are fucked up out here, whether they living or whether in a mental institution or they just doing bad in life. You're like, damn, man. I remember when they had it. Damn, I wonder what happened. Like, goddamn, they said, oh boy did such and such to old girl. Or, they said, oh girl did such and such to such and such. And yeah, man. And, they used to mess around with that witchcraft shit, and they was out here fucking people up. Come to find out, yeah, man, that witchcraft shit. Seriously, if you misuse that shit, boy, karma's a motherfucking bitch. Yeah, damn right it is. It's motherfucking a bitch. And what I'm telling you is, you do not have to listen, but it's in your best interest too. This is one of the best opportunities in your lifetime, regardless of how many you scroll and IG, Snap, whatever. OnlyFans, whatever. Better make sure you find something positive in your day to day life only because that's what you're going to need. People have not seen what's coming. I mean, I talked about the famine. They haven't seen it. I hope people don't see. I hope people really get in a place close to the Most High so they don't have to experience. The Most High people would not experience what's coming. I mean, if think about it, you have the president who takes away SNAP for many families, many children, right? So imagine if they take all the food away from everybody, then what? What? You're gonna shoot people, the community that you need to have to stand by your side. You're not gonna find them people. What are you gonna do? You don't know how to hunt. You don't know how to create a fire. You don't know how to stay warm. Because a lot of people haven't been through nothing or nothing something, and they always like to judge other people by their stories about how they've changed as a person. I've been homeless plenty of times. People wouldn't know that unless I told them. Not even ashamed to even talk about it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it's been done by witchcraft, and I know one. I trusted a relationship, and then I know another one. I had got a sign that I needed to remove my cousin out the home, and I didn't, so I ended up getting evicted. I should see that intuition is real. When you see that sign and the messages, it means do it. So in the place I am now, it's hard for people to really accept who I am because it's like they're so used to me coming back. They're so used to me accepting the shenanigan. They're so used to, many things of just having a good heart and passion for them and having faith that they'll actually understand and get it without me having to discuss it and or repeat of a discussion repetitively. But a lot of people didn't take me serious, which many here won't take me serious. Very few that will, and I'm okay with that. Just know I don't miss the mark. The reason why I don't miss the mark because the Most High don't miss the mark. So that's the only reason. That's why I don't miss the mark. It's like, what you mean you don't miss the mark? Whether it's good or bad, I don't miss the mark. And bad mean bad news for people. Not bad news for me, but bad news for people. You know, I mean, it remind me that guy said, if you get this gift that you can see, couldn't you see that I didn't want to see you? Apparently, the gift brought you to me because somehow, some way, you found my page and you end up saying that. So the gift is what it is. It was like a contradictive. Like he really didn't even get it. Like you set your own self up for that one. Like, did your gift tell you that I didn't want to see you, but you see me because you on my page. You That's why I posted it so people could see it. Like, it's crazy. So this stuff. I mean, it's interesting, man. I learned how to smile and laugh at this stuff instead of be so upset. And I don't mean I don't get upset or can't get upset, but I'm saying it's a 99.9% that I don't. It's only 1%. So yeah. Well, if you tired of listening, have a blessed night and enjoy your journey, man. Wish you well. Shit, crazy. You say you tired, but you ain't even had to type it. All you had to do is just go away. That's how you know you ain't want to go away. You just had to say something, wanted to say something, man. Like that trolling stuff don't bother me. And if you see me go in on somebody, it don't mean I'm bad. I'm just gonna go in on you. I'm say I'm both sides. I'm light and dark. And they're like, oh yes, you're wicked. Dark don't mean wickedness. That's the problem. People that misconception. You need to learn the knowledge of truth. So therefore you know what is. Actions and intentions what makes a situation wicked. You know how many people do things that's wicked in the light, for example, and people think it's good. For example, you got all these churches out here I know, and then you got these shelters out here, for example. They raise millions and millions of dollars from people who work hard for their money to manipulate them to make them think they're helping homeless people. They're pocketing 85%, if not 90% or 95% of the money and giving 5% or less or nothing to the homeless who's still outside homeless or doing drugs. I look at them every day. That's what you call something done in the light that is wicked. So I know a person's like, what the fuck do you mean? How can you do wickedness in the light? I'm gonna give you $2,000, for example, and this $2,000 I'm gonna give you as the president is gonna help you do what? Give it right back to us. It's not gonna help you move forward and change things in your life. And say, well, it will help me pay the light bill, and it, but the light bill is consistent. See, the problem with the light bill, for example, wasn't the problem until someone felt like you need to pay for something that's free. The phone bill wasn't a problem until someone came up with the idea that you need to pay for it. The phone is free. The metals, the electricity of it, and the creativity that I answer, especially who created cell phone. They try to make it look like cell phone something new. That shit been sitting, man. Y'all gonna see more new things that's supposed to be new and they created. Man, listen, that's one ancestor, man. This man has created over 413,000 patents. And please, most of us not even gonna live to see this shit. You know what I'm saying? 400 something thousand patents. That's a lot. And yeah, it's just showing you that liars will always be liars and deceivers who tell lies always will be exposed. And not only the exposure, they don't have shit. They're not creators. They can't create shit. They manipulate other people with their gifts, their talents, their skills, and use them and pay them the less as possible and talk shit and tell you trash without telling you. but treating you how they pay you and how they overuse you for hours and hours and hours of labor to make them seem like they're glorified. Motherfucker trash. Tell you something. I know a lot of shit, and what I do know is a lot of wealthy people, for example, is not as wealthy as people who be wanting this shit so bad. They haven't grind for the mud. You know what I'm saying? When I say people who grind for the mud, like myself or other people who might have been in the streets at one point in their life or whatever, whatever, is that you're starting from nothing, turning into something. These motherfuckers go to the bank. Hey man, I got this project, you know what I'm saying? Got this business idea. I got my LLC, my C course, my what else they got out there? S corps and blah blah blah, and I need a loan, my credit is this. Oh yeah, well, sir, or ma'am, we'll give you yeah, we'll give you the 50 million. Oh, I'm rich now. So now they're gonna take some of that money, put it in the stock market, buy a whole bunch of other real estate and a whole bunch of other shit, and hoping that it'll profit. In the meantime, they need to hire some people who's intelligent enough to help them push forward these things while they still hold some of that money, if not the whole $50 million. Okay, I need to go over here. My credit's still good. I still got room because I'm running the game. My boy or my peoples or the group that I'm in that I initiated, I signed a contract with, teaching me the game how to get more money. So now they teach me how to get more money. Now I need to manipulate. Even Robert Kiyosaki will tell you, like, man, I'm billions of dollars in debt. So if you're billions of dollars in debt, 9 out of 10, you could make that billions of dollars, but because they feed the lower class less money, it's impossible for things to stay balanced for them because they don't want the lower class, nor do they want the middle class to have the same amount of money or enough money to allow money to flow. So that's their biggest problem. You know what I'm saying? That's why they can't get it the way they need to. So now what end up happening with them, they have to put money in together to push certain different events. But see, when you're greedy like that and you don't have a good heart, you're not gonna have that truth that I just spoke, because that truth that I spoke allows you to have the opportunity to be abundant because you want the people who are actually helping you be abundant actually show appreciation. They talk about all these universal laws and the law of attraction, this and that, third. And I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about for those who fit the category. It's all bullshit. When you being in 20 billions in debt and shit like that, that's not your money. That's somebody else's fucking money. Like, you talking motherfucker real hustler. You talking to somebody who know the game. Don't look like I know shit, but what come out my mouth, and when you wait and sit back or you go do your homework and research, you're gonna find out I do know the fuck I'm talking about. And then on top of that, it's not nobody come like, yeah, you're right. It's okay. Keep it to yourself. Apply it and then study on your own as well so you can get to that place that you want. You're not gonna get to that place, keep wasting all your energy, time watching and paying too much attention to everybody else who's doing nothing. Okay? Simple as that. I'm not saying you don't need to watch it. You need not give all your time and energy to pay enough attention to that shit where you need to put more on yourself so you don't miss your blessings, man. I'm not talking about Nicholas Tesla. I never mentioned him. I just said that, brother, look, if you don't mind me saying that. Look, I'm not saying I said nothing about wealthy people. Let me break that down. Corporation. A corporation is an entity. It is owned by none but the entity name. Who's responsible for the entity? The entity is responsible for it. It's like saying the state of Georgia versus Cheerio Man. Well, Cheerio Man is a live, breathing being who has a height, weight, blood, DNA as a family. While California, example, is not a person. So when people go to court, I'm breaking this thing down so you can know that I'm on point with you, brother. That when they go to court, they have the right by the 14th Amendment to face their accuser. Where the judge can't be the accuser, a witness can't be the accuser, a prosecutor can't, which is pro se, can't be the accuser. So with that being said, is It's the state, which is a piece of land or a name slash corporation entity, is not a person, so it can't testify. If many would know that or knew that or study, if they want to break the law, I'm not advising you to break the law. You don't need to, for real, because it's really they bullshit anyway. They do what they want to. But I'm just saying, this allow you to have insight versus just thinking that like, well, yeah, they had a witness and or they had an officer or they had somebody get on the stand or the judge said this, the judge said that. Judge cannot practice law behind the bench because they wear a black robe. It doesn't mean nothing. They just cold. That's why they wear the black robe. They got their symbolic reason why they wear it, but the bottom line is the Most High is the real judge. So any judge, male or female, that misuse their authority, as well as any pro se, mean prosecutor or officer, they will deal with the consequences. That's what people, instead of people seeking revenge, people need to be calling the highest form of judgment on individuals in your life in order so they can get served their karma. People think they gotta go kill and they gotta go gossip and slander and talk down on somebody. You ain't doing nothing but building bad energy for yourself. Now you're no different than them. But anyway, I said enough. Peace and blessings, man, everyone. I appreciate everybody tapping in, man. Make sure you hit that like, share, and follow and subscribe. And that seduction female. I don't see that. What's up, everybody? If I didn't speak. And if you come in and I don't see the chat, just holler at me. Yeah, just holler at me and we'll tap in. I'm up out of here. Peace and blessings. All of the body, you'll be signing. I'm up out of here. One.